Coming live from the studio, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for watching another episode of All Sports. This is your host, Gerardo. On the show today, I'm going to talk about my experience at Oracle Park. To start off, at the middle every month, I post a video or talk about one stadium I went to, so stay tuned for future videos from stadiums across the US. For the month of May, I'm going to post a video where I talk about Oracle Park and my experience there. For the next 30 months, I will go in order and tell you about every stadium I have been to across the US. When I post a video talking about a stadium I have been to, there will be two different versions. It will be a video where I talk about the stadium if I have already been there, but if it's a stadium I haven't been to yet, then I will post a video showing you the stadium. So right now, I'm going to give you some background history about Oracle Park. It's located in San Francisco. It's home of the Giants. Oracle Park was known as AT&T Park before the start of the 2019 baseball season. This past off season, they changed the name from AT&T to Oracle. Now this was a bit confusing because I've known this park as AT&T Park. So when I saw Oracle Park, I thought it was the new arena that they were building a few blocks away, which will be home to the Golden State Warriors next year, since they're going to be moving from Oracle Arena in Oakland now to San Francisco, a few blocks away from Oracle Park. They broke ground for Oracle Park in December of 1997, and it opened in April of 2000. It has a seating capacity of over 41,900 seats. Now Oracle Park, and the only other stadium that I can think of, is the Oakland Alameda Coliseum located in Oakland on the other side of the bay. They're the only two stadiums that I can think of where they have the bullpens located down the foul lines on the first base side and on the third base side. Oracle Park has the home bullpen located on the third base side and the visitors bullpen located down the first base side. Now this is a bit odd for Oracle Park, especially for this stadium being one of the newer stadiums, because many of the other ballparks across the US have their bullpens located out in left field, right field, or in center field. The bullpens have their own designated area. So for Oracle Park, being one of the newer ballparks, this is kind of strange that they have their bullpens located down the foul lines. Now at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum, they have their bullpens located down the foul lines because it's an older stadium, and this stadium is used for football and baseball. It's currently the home of the Raiders, and it's home of the Athletics. So this stadium is used throughout the year by the Raiders and the Athletics, so that makes sense why the bullpens are located down the foul lines, since they have to adjust the seating and the stadium for football games or for baseball games. But I do like the layout of Oracle Park. And it does have a bit of a strange layout, especially out in right field. Oracle Park's layout, especially in the outfield, is a bit different from most of the other ballparks across the US. Now, if you're behind home plate or on the first or third base side of Oracle Park and you're looking out towards the outfield, left field and center field is pretty similar to most of the other ballparks. But right field is a bit different from most of the other ballparks. Now in right field of Oracle Park, the wall is very high, and there's only a few rows, and then you got the concourse out in right field. So most of the time, especially when there's a left-handed batter at the plate, when they hit the baseball out to right field, it usually bounces off the wall and rolls into the outfield, which can give an advantage to some of the baseball players, especially if they're really fast at running. There's been a few times, especially if the baseball's hit in certain spots on that right field wall, that it bounces off the wall and it rolls all the way down in the outfield towards center field. And if the baseball player is really fast, he can run the bases and clear all the bases and do an inside the park home run. And this has happened a few times. What makes Oracle Park one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball and one of my favorite ballparks is because it's one of the nicest ballparks in all of baseball. Since it has one of the nicest views from behind home plate, or if you're on the first or third base side in the lower level or in the upper level of Oracle Park. And if you're looking out towards the outfield, you get a nice view of the bay with the water in the background. And Oracle Park joins Busch Stadium and PNC Park as one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball and one of the ballparks that have one of the nicest views in all of baseball. So if there's one thing I can recommend, I highly recommend, if you haven't been to San Francisco and you haven't checked out a Giants game at Oracle Park, I highly recommend that you go out there. And it's definitely a ballpark that should be on top of your list, and it's a ballpark you definitely want to check out. The outfield at Oracle Park is very nice. You get a nice view from behind home plate or on the first or third base side of the baseball game. And you also get a nice view of the outfield with the big mitt out in left field, all of the palm trees, the nice view of the bay with the water in the background. So it doesn't get any better than that. Throughout Giants history, especially with the Giants being out in San Francisco, there's different areas within the ballpark, out in center field, and outside of the ballpark that honor and represent individual players and personnel within the organization, which includes the many different statues outside of Oracle Park, and there's also memorabilia throughout the ballpark. Another thing about Oracle Park is, with the high wall that they have out in right field, not that many home runs make it outside of Oracle Park into the bay. Now a left-handed batter has the advantage compared to a right-handed batter, and if they have the power, there's been many left-handed batters, and it only happens a few times throughout the season where a left-handed batter is batting and they can hit a home run out of Oracle Park, and it either lands in the walkway outside of Oracle Park or it goes into the bay, which is a few hundred feet from Oracle Park out in right field. So there's many houseboats that park outside of Oracle Park, and there's also many individuals in canoes outside of Oracle Park in the bay that just wait for home run balls in batting practice or during the game to land into the bay. Now if it's a nice sunny hot day in the San Francisco area and there's a Giants game, you will definitely see a lot of houseboats and individuals in canoes outside of Oracle Park in the Bay, out in right field, enjoying the scenery and enjoying the Giants game throughout the summer. Oracle Park also hosted the 2007 All-Star Game, so that was another great experience at Oracle Park in San Francisco that year. So right now I'm going to tell you about my experience at Oracle Park. I went to Oracle Park in August of 2015. What I liked about Oracle Park was the layout of the ballpark, especially out in right field. Right field's a lot different compared to other ballparks across the US. I also like the view that you get of the baseball game from behind home plate or on the first or third base side of the ballpark, whether you're on the lower level or in the upper level of the ballpark. You get a nice view of the baseball game, you get a nice view of the outfield, and you also get a nice view of the bay in the background, and you can see the palm trees in the water from the distance, and you can also see Oakland, which is on the other side of the bay. So if there's one thing I can recommend, you definitely need to go out to San Francisco and check out a Giants game at Oracle Park. Oracle Park is definitely one of the nicest ballparks in all of baseball. Also, if you have the time and you're spending a few days in the San Francisco area and the Athletics are playing at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum in Oakland on the other side of the bay, I would highly recommend that you check out an Athletics game at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. It would be a nice experience to be able to watch a Giants game at Oracle Park in San Francisco and watch an Athletics game at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum in Oakland on the other side of the bay. Also, if you're in San Francisco, you gotta check out the attractions. There's a lot to do and see in San Francisco, which includes the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz Island, Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39, Lombard Street, Chinatown, Baker Beach, Alamo Square, and there's also many other attractions in the San Francisco area. But those attractions that I just listed that are in the San Francisco area, you definitely got to check out those attractions. They're the main attractions, and I would highly recommend checking out those attractions in the San Francisco area. So if there's one thing I can recommend, if you go out to the Bay Area, you definitely want to have some time and you definitely want to spend a few days out in the Bay Area so you can check out a Giants game at Oracle Park, an Athletics game at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum, and so you can see all the attractions, but especially the main attractions in the San Francisco area. So make sure to tune in at the middle of June to find out which was the next stadium I visited, and I will also tell you about my experience at that stadium. Tune in to the next All Sports with Gerardo show next week. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches every episode of All Sports. Subscribe or like my pages on social media at All Sports with Gerardo. Until next time, this is Gerardo.